Did smoking then
started inside the car?
Inside the car.
So then I was like, the smoking started inside the car, and the steering went rock solid. So I was like,
solid.
So I was like, I can't go any faster. They say racing's 90% disappointment, 10% high. So I'm really lucky and grateful that we've had a good showing so far, but yeah, it looks like not going to happen. And a massive shout out to Rick, the whole Super Tune team, because they've been on the car for 3 hours, so God bless them, I really appreciate it, but yeah, this is racing, what can you do?
We're on the grid in the distance, the red lights are on, we're looking for those red lights to go off, and then we pull away. It's a great start. Very quickly behind us, a little check in the mirror for Shiraz Khan, just to make sure that he can move the car over, and we are amongst those championship class cars. 5 laps complete, and Shiraz Khan not only heads the AM Championship field, still got a club car between himself and his closest rivals. 5 minutes of racing still to go, but now there is a superb 7-second advantage over the rest of the AM Championship field. Gently, just gently carrying as much speed as we can, not unsettling the car, flick up through another gear, and it's across the line for the win.
Feel that bass.
It's the second race of the day, and again we're on board with Shiraz Khan, who took his second Porsche Club Motorsport AM Championship win of the season in race 1. We're looking up now towards Paddock Hill Bend, the first corner on this famous Brands Hatch circuit. The red lights are on. We are racing and we get a good start, but Darren Lebet alongside is away equally well. It is side by side, but past a very, very slow Class 1 car. That's Jake McAleer in his 997, not getting away well at all. And we are side by side with Darren Lebet as we turn into Paddock Hill Bend down the hill. These are the Class 1 cars. We've already caught those up. Shiraz Khan looks to the outside, Lebet's to the inside, Khan goes to the outside and goes around. This worked so well in race 1 and it's worked well again in race 2. He's come down the hill and he's slotted into the championship lead. That is Darren Lebet right behind him. Only Class 1 cars, the championship class cars in front, looking in the mirror just to make sure cars offline, cars in different places, not where you'd expect them to be on the track at this stage of the race. We look around the Cayman of David Burke, see if we can get a good exit, come back across, claim that apex and get the power on, and we are going to head back out on to the straight. It's a great exit out of 30s for Darren Lebet, and he has pulled alongside and he has actually gone past as we go through down through the little dip and up thing coming into Hawthorne's corner. But Lebet has locked up. Lebet has locked up and sailed right off into the gravel trap. The cars are going to be greeted as they get back to the start finish line by the safety car, because it's going to take a few laps to retrieve that stranded Boxster. And we go racing again as the cars head into lap 5. No overtaking before that start finish line, but still important to get up to speed and as quick as possible and watch for anyone making a move from behind. You can see there Shiraz Khan looking in the mirror, being defensive, just ensuring that he's not going to leave a gap that someone behind is going to move into. You can still see the cars pouring down Paddock Hill Bend behind, but we are out in front of the AM Championship. About getting up to speed, getting back into that groove and going back racing. Right behind us, race winner Andrew Porter, and he's going to have Boxster champion Wayne Gregory alongside him. This is tough opposition. They're determined not to let Shiraz Khan pull it away as he did in race 1. Through the clearways corner at the end of lap 9, and you can see that train of cars right behind Shiraz Khan. This is where it becomes this mental sport as much as being able to drive fast. One missed gear, one mistake through a corner, and that slender advantage disappears, and the rest of the race can become carnage. We're going to head now, turn down through Paddock Hill Bend, carrying as much speed as we can, going wide but not too wide, where that gravel trap is just waiting to suck you in. And then it's going to be up to Druids. Hold a nice tight line through there, get a good exit, opened a little bit of a gap now on those 3 chasing cars behind. A check in the mirror just to see where they are down the hill. The left-hander that is Graham Hill Bend to Apex is tricky corner with the bright green areas on the exit where you must not put a wheel. That is the track limits. That could be a 5-second penalty just for dropping a wheel onto that area. We're now heading up through Surtees, climbing uphill exit, carry as much speed as we can onto the long back straight, heading down towards the Hawthorne corner where we saw that car sail off on the first lap. So easy to be sucked in here, leave your braking too late, but we've hit our braking point. We're turning in nicely, the car nicely under control, nicely balanced. We carry as much speed as we can through Hawthorns down the short straight towards the Westfield corner. We're going to flick right through Westfield, another right hand coming up there. We're going through Dingle Dell as we just now head our way back, working our way back towards the start, to the finish line, towards the end of this race, through Sheen Curve, the left-hander, the 90-degree left-hander of Sterling's. Turning our way through there. It's not working in the car, we can see a little sweat wiped away, looking in the mirror, that reassuring glance that sees everyone is too far back to make any sort of last lap challenge. Come through the final corner. There's going to be the finish line, there's going to be the checkered flag, and it is going to be a superb drive. It's going to bring that second win of the day.
So we're here just on the sim, tugging the inside line, come out towards Paddock Hill, turn 1, which is a big commitment corner. It's a huge undulation and change, as you can see a bit of oversteer on exit. So going up the hill here to Druids, turn 2, and you can actually probably be a lot later on braking than you think here, because it's uphill. On the power really early, take the car to the right, give it a little brake, dab of the brake, turn in to, I think is it Surtees? Yeah, simming has been a big change to my year this year. Having time to be able to practice outside of, you know, track days and test days is a huge benefit, really. Of course, we don't have a Boxster model that's exactly the same as an AM spec car, for example, but there are cars that are kind of similar, and what it does is it just starts putting into muscle memory, you know, the directions that you're going to take, what would be considered a high speed corner, what would be a mid, what would be a low, and then your appropriate braking and throttle techniques according to those type of corners. So when you arrive at the circuit, you've already formulated what you're probably going to be doing. Whereas when you're at testing, if it's the first time you've been at the circuit for a year, the whole day you're getting yourself to learn around, being around the place. Whereas if you've done that beforehand, it really just puts you, like you're running literally from the first session, and you just keep getting those then incremental developments. You know, I'm not going to find 3 seconds. I'm going to find tenths. I'm super grateful for your support. I'm really, really grateful for it. I was saying in the video earlier that actually if you do it without someone there, if you're doing it by yourself, it feels quite meaningless. When I've got my kids to come up with me and jump up and where's the number one hat?
Love it, yeah.
Where's it? Did you win? Like you getting it? Like I saw you welling up. I saw the tears because we live through each other, isn't it? Like you just, it just means it doesn't mean anything if you haven't got the support structure. And I'm really, really grateful to you, my parents. You know, not everyone gets a chance to do it, so
that's it. You gotta make the most of it while you got it.
Yeah, inshallah. I'm really excited about trying to show my pace, because I know I can show that, and also it's quite good to know in a subtle way that you're in the heads of other competitors. Yeah. Because they're talking about it and said, "Oh, you were flying, da 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 da." You're like the most consistent, so it's nice to know that other people are talking about it. Yeah. Because then that's already one part of the game done. Now I just need to perform. So we'll see. Inshallah, it will go well. And you know, last year after Oulton Park, and I had that big wipeout.
Yeah. It's scary, isn't it?
And I kind of learnt a little bit to say, all right, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I need to control the things that I can control.
That's it.
Whatever else happens, happens.
Yeah, you can't drive for other people. You have to drive for yourself. No. I'm so glad I wasn't there when you did crash, because your dad was there. And I was like, no. And then hearing about it, your heart drops. And this is exactly why the sport is scary, because it changes in a second. And it wasn't to do with you. It was somebody else's drive. And that's also scary as well. It
is. I mean, this is the sort of risks that you kind of know going into it, but at the same time, you kind of
don't think it's going to happen to you.
You don't. You don't.
But you get agitated. But these things happen for a reason, don't they? Sure, and you're learning as well. Yeah, you don't forget. You've only done it. This is your 3rd year, isn't it? Yeah. 3rd. Xavier's thing.
3rd year.
Yeah. So.
And you know, I think the hard bit for me is like, I sort of, I don't enter it to be just taking part.
No,
that's never
nobody
been
does.
part of my.
That'd be a waste,
not
though,
part of
wouldn't
my. That's never been part of my being. People are just delighted to be racing. Yeah, I am, but I'm there to
Not
be like
everybody races.
I'm there to be as fast as anyone,
Yeah.
and that's quite hard to remove that as part of your makeup. You know what? I get myself. You've always said to me, don't forget to enjoy it, and I think I get myself so uptight about performing and doing well and doing great for everyone, for myself. You know what? I think it's about. I've done all the hard work I can to prepare for it. Just got to go there, leave it in God's hands, I suppose, and see what happens. Yeah, so Tasneem was a massive fan of the kunafa. Yeah. She loved it. So now one of them, can I have the kids bowl that we always do?
Minis with strawberries.
Yeah, that's right. And then can I have the incredible bulk, please, as always? Thank you. So guys, we're just about to set off for our next race weekend. So got some testing today. So hopefully we're gonna have a good weekend. But always fueling up, getting my goodness and nutrition before I get there. So shout out to Acai Club as they always support my fitness, and let's have an amazing weekend.
The 2025 Porsche Club Motorsport with Pirelli Championship heads its way then to Oulton Park, to Cheshire, and of course with the multi-class racing around here, it's always going to be very exciting, one of the most narrow and difficult circuits that we race our way around.
Oulton Park, for those that will remember, was where we had that horrific coming together between the championship cars and two AM cars. So it was myself and Andrew Porter that got caught up in the Pete Evans, Pete Morris climbing the wall of the pit wall and spinning off and spearing across the road and significantly damaging mine and Andrew's car. So I haven't got as much experience at Oulton Park, but I'd say that I've definitely learned to love its really narrow, undulating nature. I really like it as a circuit. Some really fast commitment corners, that's kind of what I love. I'm looking forward to Oulton Park. I'm looking forward to setting the scene straight there.